Welcome! Today we're diving into a really fascinating corner of medical innovation. We're going to navigate the complex, sometimes tricky, but incredibly promising world of combination therapies and figure out how they actually get from a lab into a patient's hands.
Just think about that for a second. It's a huge question, right? This idea is already changing how we fight some of our toughest diseases, and it's really at the heart of everything we're talking about today.
All right, let's get into it. The whole concept here isn't just about, mixing a bunch of medicines together and hoping for the best. It's way smarter than that. It's a strategic, coordinated attack on a disease.
So what is a combination therapy exactly? Well, put simply, it's like sending in a whole specialized team to fight a battle instead of just one soldier. The goal is brilliant but simple. You hit a disease from a bunch of different directions all at once, which makes the whole treatment way more powerful. Now, how does this actually show up in your medicine cabinet? Well, it can look a few different ways. You might get what's called a fixed-dose combination, or FDC. That's where everything you need is packed into one single pill. Or you could have co-packaged products, where separate drugs are just bundled together for you. And sometimes it's as simple as taking a few individual treatments at the same time. And this is why this is such a big deal. For these really relentless diseases, I'm talking cancer, HIV, tuberculosis, a single line of attack just doesn't cut it a lot of the time. The disease is too smart. Combination therapies give us that multi-pronged approach that can really, truly make a difference. So, if these treatments are such a great idea, why aren't they everywhere? Well, that brings us to the biggest challenge of all. Getting them approved is less like a straight line and more like trying to navigate a giant winding maze. And I'm not exaggerating when I call it a maze. For the folks developing these treatments, the path from a brilliant idea to actually helping patients is just filled with these crazy twists, turns, and hurdles that can stop even the best innovations right in their tracks. And to make it even trickier, this maze isn't just in one country, it's global. You've got the FDA in the United States, the EMA over in Europe, and plenty of others. And guess what? Each one has its own rulebook, its own expectations, which adds all these extra layers of complexity for anyone trying to bring a new therapy to the world.
So let's break down the 5 biggest hurdles in this maze. First, the science itself is just incredibly complex. You have to prove how every single piece of the puzzle works together. Second, designing the clinical trials is a huge lift. You have to show that the combo works and that each individual part is pulling its weight. Then you've got the whole mess of intellectual property. What do you do when 2 different companies own the patents? Fourth, the rules themselves are always changing. And finally, manufacturing. Just making a single, stable, consistent pill out of multiple ingredients is a massive engineering challenge.
So you look at all that and it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? With all of those roadblocks, how on earth does any of these therapies actually make it all the way through to approval?
Well, here's the good news. As complicated as the maze is, it's not impossible. It turns out there's a map, and navigating it successfully isn't about luck. It's about having the right strategies. So what does this map look like? Well, it has 5 key points. 1. Engage early and often. Start talking to regulators like the FDA from day 1. 2. Design smarter, more flexible clinical trials. 3. Collaborate. You have to partner up to solve those tricky patent issues. 4. And this is a big one, document absolutely everything. And 5. Look for the fast lanes. Use special programs like priority review to speed things up when you can. And this quote really just nails it. It's not enough to have amazing science. At the end of the day, success or failure often just comes down to having a really, really good plan. Okay, so this map, this strategy, it sounds good in theory, but does it actually work out there in the real world? Oh yeah. Let's look at a couple of huge success stories that prove this map is the real deal. First, take the single pill treatments for HIV. This was a complete revolution for patients. And how did it happen? Because developers worked hand in hand with the FDA from the very beginning. That early engagement and collaboration was the key that unlocked a life-changing approval. Or look at modern oncology. There was a case where a company combined a biologic with chemotherapy. Because they aligned their clinical and regulatory strategy right from the start, they earned a special breakthrough status. That basically put them in the fast lane for approval, getting a life-saving drug to patients who desperately needed it. So, what's the lesson here for the future? Well, a clear pattern emerges. Success is going to depend on these core ideas: industry and regulators working together, being transparent with data, and using smart, flexible strategies that are both fast and scientifically solid.
And that really is the ultimate takeaway here.
You can have the most brilliant science in the world, but it's not enough. The biggest breakthroughs happen when that brilliant science is paired with an equally brilliant strategy to navigate the path forward.
When you get that alignment, when innovation and smart planning finally click together, incredible things become possible. And it just leaves you wondering, with so many potential combinations out there, what amazing breakthrough is just waiting for the right strategy to unlock it?